Good morning, CSL. We're glad you're with us today. It's a beautiful day in Boise, Idaho. Please give a big hand for Miss Lisa Biddick.
I came here with a broken heart that no one else could see. Drew a smile on my face to paper over me. Wounds heal when tears dry and tracks they don't show. Don't be so hard on yourself, no. Let's go back to simplicity. I feel like I've been missing me. Was not who I'm supposed to be. I felt this darkness over me. We all get there eventually. I never knew where I belonged. I was right and you were wrong. Been telling myself all along. Don't be so hard on yourself, no. Learn to forgive, learn to let go. Everyone trips, everyone falls. So don't be so hard on yourself, no. 'Cause I'm just tired of marching on my own. Kind of frail, I feel it in my bones. Let my heart turn into stone. So don't be so hard on yourself, no. I'm standing on top of the world, right where I want to be. So how can this dark cloud be raining over me? But hearts break and hell's a place that everyone knows. So don't be so hard on yourself, no. Let's go back to simplicity. I feel like I've been missing me. Was not who I'm supposed to be. I felt this darkness over me. We all get there eventually. I never knew where I belonged. But I was right and you were wrong. Been telling myself all along. Don't be so hard on yourself, no. Learn to forgive, learn to let go. Everyone trips, everyone falls. So don't be so hard on yourself, no. 'Cause I'm just tired of marching on my own. Kind of frail, I feel it in my bones. Won't let my heart turn into stone. So don't be so hard on yourself, no. Oh, I learned to wave goodbye. How not to see my life through someone else's eyes. But now I'm not alone. It's not an easy road. So I won't be so hard on myself no more. Don't be so hard on yourself, no. Learn to forgive, learn to let go. Everyone trips, everyone falls. So don't be so hard on yourself, no. 'Cause I'm just tired of marching on my own. I'm a fail, I feel it in my bones. Won't let my heart turn into stone. So don't be so hard on yourself, no. 'Cause I'm just tired of marching on my own. Kind of frail, I feel it in my bones. Won't let my heart turn into stone. So don't be so hard on yourself, no.
Good. Okay, is this on? Yes. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, everybody that's in the sanctuary and everyone that's joining us from home in Facebook land. Hello. Yay. So, for those of you who don't know, I am not Reverend Jackie. And I'm Donna Sheedy. I'm a practitioner here at CSL Boise. And Reverend Jackie is enjoying a staycation this week. So she is joining us from Facebook. We'll wave to her. And I'm sure she's watching through Facebook. And for those of you who are on Facebook, we want to apologize for the technical difficulties we had last week. They are sorted out, and this should go on without a hitch. Those of you in the sanctuary last week had no idea, because it went off beautifully here. But if you do want to watch Sandra's talk. We did record it afterwards. She was gracious enough to stay, and it is posted on Facebook as well. So if anybody here missed it, you could go to Facebook and still see it. So as you know, and as we are all doing beautifully in the sanctuary, our mask mandate is back. Yay. So regardless of vaccine status, we're just asking everybody to keep their masks on. So thank you. So we're going to kick off this beautiful service by introducing this wonderful house band that we have. First of all, it's led by Rex Miller, yay, our keyboard player and musical director. Would you like to announce anywhere that you're playing? Nope. Okay. Yay. And then over here we have Phil Bowden on the drums. Yay! And then we have Ted McClurg on the bass. Yay! And then our pink lady, Lisa Vidic, is our guest musician. Yay! Would you like to announce anywhere that you're playing?
I will be at the Nampa Festival of Arts this weekend with Musicians 3.
Yay!
You can always check my website,
Awesome. Okay. And it's just lisabidic.com.
lisabidic.com.
Easy, easy. All right. Great. And you can also go to our eBlast or our website at cslboise.org and check out the eBlast. And at the bottom is a place that you can get the musicians' websites and see where they're playing. So excellent. And then all the volunteers that are here to make this possible. We have Cheryl Houdon, who is in the back making this live on Facebook. And we have Ed Kuklinski taking the pictures. Yay. Rob Compton in the back. Wait. Doing the sound, making everyone sound fantastic. And we have beautiful Lisa, our practitioner, Lisa Compton, as our practitioner of the day, doing spiritual treatment and spiritual practices. So as we prepare our bodies to get ready for the spiritual practices, just let's settle down, get comfortable in your seat. Oh, and take a nice deep breath. Let's check in with your body. Let's check our head, our mind, clear our thoughts. Be grateful for everything that we can recall. And as you continue to breathe deeply, notice your chest and the air coming in and out of your lungs. And your muscles giving you strength throughout your body. Grateful for your body that is supporting you right now. Ease of movement, pain-free. We are clear, healthy beings, wholeness, perfection of our body temples. So we'll have Lisa Compton come up to start our spiritual practices. And just take one more cleansing breath. Allow it in.
Good morning, everybody. It's my honor and absolute joy to introduce Pamela Thompson, who will light the world religion candles from the Christ candle. In religious science, we perform this ceremony to acknowledge that all people and all faiths come from the one great universal presence, which we call Spirit. In lighting these candles, we honor the one family of humanity made up over 4,000 religions and spiritual traditions throughout the world. We light the first candle for Buddhism. The fundamental goal of Buddhism is peace, inner and outer. First, we must understand the cause of peace. Then we can direct our thoughts. We light this candle for our peaceful thoughts and peaceful hearts. We light the second candle for Hinduism. Gandhi defined the Hindu creed simply as the search after truth through nonviolent means. We light this candle to light the way for nonviolence. We light the third candle for Judaism. The Hebrew shalom literally means peace, but it also means completeness, wholeness, health, perfection, prosperity, and harmony. we light the candle for the spirit of shalom. We light the fourth candle for Christianity. In Matthew, the peace prayer begins, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be known as the children of God." We are the children of God. We are the peacemakers. We light the candle for all peacemakers. The fifth and final candle honors New Thought. We teach that peace of God is at the center of our beings. We grow consciousness of this peace. We enter into peace. We're surrounded by peace, and it calms the troubled waters of experience. We light the candle for peace within. So now we'll just quiet our minds and we'll open our hearts for the message being sung by Lisa Biddick.
I see your light. I see your beauty. I feel your heart when I see you smile. I see your light. I see your beauty. I feel your heart when I see you smile. You are enough. You are worthy. You are loved just as you are. You are enough. You are worthy. You are loved just as you are. You are loved. I am loved. Together we are never alone. I am enough. I am worthy. I am loved just as I am. I am enough. I am worthy. I am loved just as I am. I am loved. You are loved. Together we are never alone. I see your light. I see your beauty. I feel your heart when I see you smile.
Please join me in prayer. Stepping into this beautiful energy that Lisa so lovingly brought forth into our awareness. We are all absolutely one in the divine, which is love. It's God. It's Mother, Father, Source energy that is in all of us, expressing in our own unique individual way. And knowing that we're absolutely one, I speak my word now for this service, for each one of us present, knowing that our hearts are open and we are aware of the presence of God right where we are. And now I speak a special word for our Donna Sheedy, knowing that she steps forth today with a message from Spirit, expressing through her in her own way, knowing that our hearts are open to hear that message in a special way. For this and so much more, we're deeply grateful. And together we say Om, Shanti, Ashe, Aho, Amen, and so it is.
Please give a big welcome for Miss Lisa Biddick.
There is freedom within, there is freedom without. Try to catch the deluge in a paper cup. There's a battle ahead, many battles are lost, but you'll never see the end of the road while you're traveling with me. Hey now, don't dream it's over. Hey now, when the world comes in, they come to build a wall between us. You know they won't win. Now I'm towing my car, there's a hole in the roof. My possessions are causing me suspicion, but there's no proof. In the paper today, tales of war and of waste, but you turn right over to the TV page. Hey now, don't dream it's over. Hey now, when the world comes in, they come to build a wall between us. You know they won't win. Now I'm walking again to the beat of a drum, and I'm counting the steps to the door of your heart. Only shadows ahead, barely clearing the roof. Get to know the feeling of liberation and relief. Hey now, don't dream it's over. Hey now, when the world comes in, they come to build a wall between us. You know they won't win. Hey now, don't dream it's over. Hey now, when the world comes in, they come to build a wall between us. You know they won't win.
Thank you, Lisa Biddick. Thank you so much. My name is Deborah Whitman, and I am going to introduce our guest speaker this morning. It is my honor to introduce Donna. Donna Sheedy has been a practitioner here at the Center for Spiritual Living for 5 years now, and she loves serving our community with prayer, with sessions, support, and whatever else is needed. She currently serves as our communications director, e-blast creator, videographer, Facebook administrator, and many other duties that fall under the communications umbrella. Donna has also served on the Board of Trustees as Vice President and President. Donna has been married to her handsome hubby, Sean, for almost 28 years. They have called the beautiful Treasure Valley their home for the past 15 years. And Donna has quite a colorful professional history, which includes outside sales, independent Mary Kay consultant, corporate trainer, corporate employee benefit specialist, and craps dealer. How craps dealer fits in with all of that, I have no idea, but she's done it. She is currently a benefits analyst at Micron, and last year she added professional voiceover actor to her resume. Donna is a lover of life, and fun is one of her core values, which means that rarely, if ever, there is a dull moment in Donna's life. Let's welcome Donna.
Thank you, Deborah. Now, when you hear your intro, it made me tired. I don't know. Sounds much better on paper. So, hello again. Welcome. Hello. So, thank you again for being here. This talk that I wanted to do today had come up because in the last week, 2 weeks, I've been seeing a lot of lack and limitations, not so much in my own life, but for those around me, articles that I've been reading, online, people's conversations I've been hearing, and the prayer requests that have been coming in. So apparently someone needed this talk today. So hopefully this will touch someone's heart, either here in the sanctuary or on Facebook as someone watches it later. So we've heard this before, that the universe is living, that it's a universe of vibration, that everything has a particular frequency to it, whether it's a living thing, whether it's not a living thing, everything, this mask, this paper, each one of us all have this frequency that we're putting off. We're all a vibration. And Einstein observed that nothing happens until something moves. I'm going to say that again. Nothing happens until something moves. That's pretty powerful when you think about it. And while this is not the science class, if you broke everything down in the world into tiny, tiny little components, that what appears to be solid really isn't. It's just a dance of particles and spaces. When you get down to the tiny, tiny things, even though this feels like it's solid, it really isn't. But it's still vibrating. It's constantly vibrating. Everything is constantly moving, just far beyond the human eye. And each one of us here in the sanctuary and at home, each one of us comes from this frequency of the divine source. Think about that. We come from that frequency of that divine source, and then we moved into our bodies and into our minds. We are one with this divine presence. We are one with each other because we come from the same frequency, the same place. We're all connected. Have you ever met someone that you've never met before? You might meet them in the store, you might meet them at work, you might meet them wherever, and you just connect with them. You're just like, I dig this person. I like their vibration. I like their vibe they're putting off. No one? Just me? Okay, all right, thank you. And that's what it is. You are connecting to them on a different level, even though you don't know why. You're connecting to their frequency, to their vibration. They have a good vibe. That's what that is. And they have a complementary frequency to you. And the converse is true. Have you ever met someone you're like, I just don't want to be around this person? Okay, that's just me again? Okay. There are some people that have met people you never met before. You're just like, they have a bad vibe. Or quote, bad, I just get a feeling I just don't want to be around this person. And that's their frequency. That's their vibration. So coming from this place of the vibration of the divine is the generosity of life. Generosity of life simply means prosperity. It's not just about economics. It's not just about money. But the best definition of prosperity that I have read while preparing for this talk is spiritual well-being. So that is our goal, to be well spiritually, to be a feeling of that spiritual well-being. Can anybody relate to that? It's a complete package. Prosperity is the whole experience. Not just, hey, how much money do I have in my bank account? But it's a healthy life. It's satisfying love and satisfying relationships, being in those relationships, being in peace, being in harmony, being in joy. That abundance of substance, of your money, of just being in that peaceful place, that peaceful space. But sometimes, as I'm hearing in the last few weeks, sometimes we find ourselves in a state of fear, a state of lack and limitation. We're consumed with our jobs and what's in our bank accounts, but we forget that each one of us are whole beings in this whole universe. We have everything that we need. We really are not lacking anything. We lack nothing. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that money is bad. Money is good. We just happen to live in a world where money is that important measure, that means of exchange. That's all it is. Money comes, money goes. Comes in and out. It's not something you hold on to, but it is that means of exchange for us. But sometimes it's a little difficult to really just go, well, money just comes in and out when you don't have any. When you're feeling hungry, you don't know where your next meal is coming from. Or you have creditors that are constantly calling you. Or you're about to be evicted from your home or your apartment. It's a little hard to have that thought of, oh yeah, money just comes and goes. What this talk is about removing that distraction of poverty, that lack and limitation thinking from our view, to remove that so that we can actually live and express spirit like we're supposed to, like we're spiritual beings having a human experience. So we are living and expressing as spirit, living in prosperity, and we are having spiritual well-being. That is what this talk is about. Ernest Holmes says, everything in this universe is for us. Nothing is against us. We must know that everywhere we go, we meet friendship, love, and helpfulness. Life is ever giving of itself. We must receive, utilize, and extend the gift. Success and prosperity are spiritual attributes belonging to all people. I love that quote. I thought that was great when I was researching for this. But the big question I know that I can hear is, great, that's awesome, but how do I do that? Donna, that's just great, but it's just words. So I do have 3 things that you can do. One is to know your source, to develop that faith and knowingness that spirit is your source and supply. Like Sandra said last week, when she explained the difference between faith and belief, you have to have faith. You have to know without a shadow of a doubt that spirit is your source and supply. Spirit is the life, the substance, and the existence to all that there is. When you think about, where's my next paycheck? Where's my next meal? Where's my rent going to be coming from? We need to be trained to think God. That is where it's coming from, God. Spirit presents itself in many, many forms. Sometimes it looks like a job. Sometimes it looks like investments. Sometimes it looks like an unexpected windfall, an inheritance, a tax refund, comes as relatives or your parents. But we just know that that really is spirit in disguise. And our job is just an avenue that universe shares itself with us. So that is what the job is. It's just how the universe is sharing itself with us, is through that job or through that relationship or through those investments, whatever. We just have to remember and be very, very clear that God is our source. And when we're clear about that, that is more easily that we're allowing life's generosity to flow through us and be in our lives. Another way that God can show up, and I might mess this up, but and I know we've heard this before, but there was a guy it was raining really, really hard, and everything was starting to flood. And the fireman came to his door, knocked on his door, and said, we're here to take you home, take you to higher ground, take you to safe ground. No, I'm going to stay here because God will save me. So then the flood waters continue to rise, and he has to go up to the second story, and the boat comes by. And they said, hey, we're here to save you. Please come with us. We'll take you to safety and higher ground. No, I'm going to wait for God to save me. God is going to save me. The floodwaters continue to rise. He ends up on the roof, and a helicopter comes. And the helicopter calls down, hey, we're here to save you. Grab the rope. No, I'm waiting for God to save me. Okay, the floodwaters rise. Unfortunately, he drowns and he dies. And he gets to heaven and he said, God, I had faith that you would save me. Why didn't you save me? He said, I sent you a fireman, a boat, and a helicopter. What else did you want me to do? So again, God comes disguised as many different things. And because we are all spiritual beings, we are all connected to one another. Remember to see God in that other person, in that other resource. So our next, number 2, is circulation. The basic tenet of the prosperity is the law of circulation. And I know Reverend Jackie has talked about this. If you've taken any of her classes, it is through that, and she's talked about it before here on stage. But it's when our ideas grow static and our attitudes are immovable, we tend to experience that lack of circulation in our physical lives. New Thought author Catherine Ponder says, basically, there's only one disease, congestion. And there's only one cure, circulation. So when our thoughts become congested and stagnant and they are just not moving, we are not open to the fluidity of that free movement. And our bodies can eventually show that in that inactivity in our thoughts. And we've heard this before, that our stagnant thoughts can manifest in our bodies. So some part of our bodies will stop letting that life and that love flow freely through us. Say that 10 times fast. Flow freely through us. And that also occurs in the money matters as well. So if our thoughts about money are closed and you just are really bucking the system there, we can't experience that true circulation of prosperity in our lives. Here's a great example. The Dead Sea. The Dead Sea is that salt lake that's between Israel and Jordan. It's 47 miles long, about 10 miles wide, and it's 1,000 feet deep. And it is fed only by the Jordan River. There is no outlet to it. Things can only flow in, and it is 9 times saltier than the ocean, which is pretty amazing when it's that far inland. But it has no flow. It has no circulation. It only exists as an inlet. There's no circulation, no animals can flourish in that. No plants grow in there. If you are there and you literally are floating on the salt in there because there's so much salt. It has no circulation at all. There's nothing flowing out. Are you ready? Oh, no. Okay. You've floated in the Dead Sea? Okay. Ian has floated in the Dead Sea. You know what it's like. Okay. I've read the news of the world. Thank you. Excellent. So to be givers, we must be receivers. Isn't that weird? Because I know we've all heard it's better to give than to receive, right? Am I the only one, again, who's heard that? Okay. Other people have heard that too. But do you know to be a giver, you have to be a receiver? You have to be both? Because if everybody in this room all just went to give and there was nobody to receive it, how can you be a giver? Right? Someone has to receive. There has to be that flow. There has to be that exchange. For us to come into our lives, which includes money, for it to come to us, we have to keep that life circulation, that life circulating through us. In other words, we have to give to receive. We have to receive to give. And I'm not just talking about like donating and the offering at CSL. CSL is obviously, we need the support to continue to run the business. But the universal law, the universal principle, the law of circulation, doesn't say that you have to give to a certain organization or give a certain way or give to a certain charity or group for it to be authentic giving. God does not discriminate and say, if you give more to this charity than this charity, you'll get more back. It's not. It's not. God doesn't look at what you're giving to, but where you're giving from. Where you're giving from. You're giving from a place of get to and want to is so much different than a place of I have to and it's expected of me. Hence why we don't call it tithing, because that's a place of have to and expected of me, but we call it conscious giving. You give from love. You give from a place that I want to. I want to share my abundance. And you've also heard you can't outgive God. So when you do give from a place of love and faith, it comes back to you and then more. No matter what you give, more will come back. I know Reverend Jackie had taught a prosperity class, I don't know, a few years ago. And in that class, she said, test this law out, this law of circulation. Take 10% of any unexpected money that you get in. It could be a tax refund, it could be stimulus check, winnings, whatever. Winnings at the track, winning at bingo, wherever it is, that you just get unexpected money that comes in that you're like, oh, this is great. Take 10% of that and don't give it out to somebody anywhere, to some worthy cause. And watch what comes back to you tenfold. And people in our prosperity class did try that out, and it was amazing the stories that came back with what then came back, and then they gave some more came back, and they gave some more came back, and it created that flow of circulation. And the third thing is to go with love. In Marcia Sinitar's book, Do What You Love and the Money Will Follow, when you really do what you love in your profession, in your pastime, in your free time, or with people that you love to be with, you truly are your authentic self. And when you are being your true authentic self, that is a great place to be. Can you think of a time in your life where you really just, whatever it was that you were doing, whether you were working, whether you were in a group of friends, or if you were doing something at the church, or whatever it was, that you were really being your authentic self? Can you remember how that felt? How good that felt? You're like, this is good. Anyone? Or just me? Okay. Thank you. Thank you. This is very, interactive. So that is the place that you want to be at. You want to be in that flow. You want to be doing stuff that you love. Now, are there times when you had to do things because you felt like you had to, or you need to live responsibly. Sure, we've all done that. But none of us are sentenced to a life of drudgery and toil and just, like slavery and wrong action. That's when the flow stops. That's when you're stuck. You ever been in a dead-end job and you're like, I cannot be here anymore. This is driving me insane. Or not enjoying your work at all. Or ever being in a place that you feel like, I just have no choice in this matter at all. That's where the feeling is stuck and the flow is stuck. That's what that feels like. And we each one of us here, and for those watching at home, we all have a sacred urge to be in the fullness of life. All of us. That's a human thing for us to want to do, is that be in that fullness of life. To go with what you love in your relationships, in your jobs, in solitude, in your free time. You're just living your life. You want to be doing stuff and be in a place that you just love. That's what the flow is like. It's like that water. It's constantly flowing and it's not stagnant. So let's honor that and let's step forward and remember again that God is our source and supply. Let's develop that faith and that knowingness that we are surrounded. We are surrounded by and we are one with that divine presence that only wants good for us because we are expressing in life. We are expressing its life. We are expressing as God every moment of every day. And if you need support with that, if you think, Donna, this is a bunch of hooey that you're talking about, and I can't do that. I'm just not going to go there. Let us help you. Reach out to one of the practitioners at CSL and ask for prayer. Reach out to one of the practitioners and ask for a session to really help cultivate that and really build that faith and knowingness that God is your supply and your source. And that's what we're here for. That's what the practitioners, remember Jackie, we're here to support you in that. So please take us up on it. Because the exciting truth is that God wishes prosperity and success for each one of us. And we just have to claim it. That's it. We just have to say, yes, it's mine. An infinite mind, God's mind, will put those ideas in our minds, the words in our mouths, the creativity in our hands, the boundless opportunities before us, and is a guiding light to show us the way. So when you work in that right consciousness, when that work becomes an organically part of who you are, of your authentic self, when you work in that commitment, no matter what other people do, no matter what you're paid, no matter what the compensation may be, if you're doing it for your own personal health of your own soul, then you open that door to the abundance and the prosperity that the universe can flow through your life, and into your life. And it just can't not happen. I know it's not proper English, but it can't not happen. Can't not happen. So to recap this goodness of life, first remember that you are the true source. The true source is God, and to accept that nature. Secondly, participate in that divine law of circulation. And thirdly, follow your heart. Easy peasy. 3 easy steps. We can all go out of here and we got that down, right? Because I know that we are all nothing but divine essence. And I know that we are nothing but receiving and accepting life's generosity. And I know each one of us have creative, new things in us that we are just waiting to be released, waiting to be expressed. Because life is good, loving, and generous. And that is our life. That is our life. It always has been and always will be. We just need to be open to receiving it and to knowing it. So let's go within and really connect to the presence of that spirit as Lisa Compton comes forth with our spiritual mind treatment.
Thank you, Donna. So Now we just turn within, allowing this message to really open our hearts, open our minds, open all of who we are. Knowing that we're human, that we have doubts and worries and concerns, that there's things that people are experiencing in this human life. For our Lisa Michelle, who is walking the journey of what we call cancer, we just know, we absolutely know that God is right where she is. It's in the doctors and nurses and the people that surround her in prayer. It's in her body. It's in her spirit. We know love. Love never dies. So we say our prayers for Lisa Michelle. We say prayers for those in our community that are experiencing doubts, worries, concerns over relationships. We know these things that we call addiction also express as recovery and new life and new ways of being. And we know that wherever our sweet Reverend Jackie is right now, that she is allowing rest, recuperation, time needed. And for all of us, we know that whatever the journey is, that God is right where we are. And how lucky are we to be aware of it. It was just the other day that I read that the ocean is infinite and deep and beyond borders. And although we are not the entire ocean, you take a scoop of it in a cup and the qualities remain the same. We are the quality and a piece of God that is without any reservation, supporting, guiding, leading, expressing as us. And for beyond words could say, beyond our limited thinking, there is more, enough. Powerful, creative, sourcing, all that is. And a special word for those who are suffering with this COVID. We know God is there too, and something greater is yet to emerge. Something greater. For this and so much more, I release it into the law with deep gratitude, absolutely knowing it is so. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen.
Thank you, Lisa. Appreciate that. All right, so let's take a deep cleansing breath. Shake it out as we continue on with our service. Because now is the time for conscious giving time. So as you're preparing your gifts and your offerings, I want to make a few announcements and talk about prayer. So first of all, are there any visitors in the room for the first time? Don't think there is. We're all family. Okay. I didn't think so, but I wanted to ask. And our second announcement is that unfortunately, we're going to need, Ophelia's going to need to cancel Ron Livingstone's party this afternoon. So, but we still are blessing you, Ron. We see, when are you actually leaving? Okay, so you don't have a date yet. All right. Okay, so we still have a little bit of time. we'll see what we can do with this COVID stuff. But Ron is a longtime member here, and he is going to not Oregon. You're going to Colorado to be with family. So he's retired, and he said, I'm going back home. So blessings. Blessings, our friend. But you'll still be here for the next couple weeks, right? Okay. All right, so we can still love him from a distance. So great. All right, next. Also wanted just to reiterate that prayer in your back of your prayer in your seat pocket, for those of you in the sanctuary, we have a prayer request. We believe and we know the prayer works. So if you have a prayer request that you would like the prayer team of practitioners and ministers to pray on for the next 30 days, feel free to fill this out and put this in the back in the lobby under the beautiful picture. There's a little brown box. You can put those in there for prayer requests to be prayed on for the next 30 minutes. Just 30 minutes. We got it down. 30 days. And for those of you that are online, obviously you can't fill one of these out, but you can send an email, and anybody here can do this as well, to prayers@cslboise.org, and we will get that out to the prayer team. You can also call the prayer line, which is 208-375-0791, and you can request prayer because we know that prayer works. So then, now for our conscious giving time. So this is the time where we take to give back to Spirit and the universe what has been given to us, as we have just learned. So we want to share our gifts, our talents, our creativity to all those around us. So there's many ways that you can give and donate. Also in the seat behind you, there is a flyer, tells all the different ways that you can do that. So on the back of, you can grab one of those. But also for those of you that are online that obviously you don't have this is also on our website at cslboise.org. And you can do it text giving, you can do mobile giving through the website. You could do it in person, but check and cash. And you can also do bill pay, which is what these are. Thank you very much, whoever sent these in. And you know who you are. So we are just going to bless all of the wonderful gifts that have come through to CSL. So if you want to take a moment, place your hand on your heart. We will bless this and say, divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. And so it is. So, amen.
Hey, before the next song, don't you guys think that Donna Sheedy did a great job today? Let's give her a big hand. And now, Lisa Biddick.
Seems I've got to have a change of scene. Every night I have the strangest dreams, imprisoned by the way it could have been. Left here on my own, or so it seems. I've got to leave before I start to scream. Won't someone lock the door and turn the key? You're feeling alright. I'm not feeling too good myself. Oh no. You're feeling alright. Not feeling that good myself. Oh no. Boy, you should took me for one big ride. And even now I sit and I wonder why. And when I think of you, I stop myself from crying. I just can't waste my time, I must keep trying. Got to stop believing in all your lies, 'cause there's too much to do before I die. You're feeling alright. I'm not feeling too good myself. Oh no. feeling alright. Not feeling that good myself. Oh no. Don't you get too lost in all I say, but at the time you know it really felt that way. But that was then and you know it's today. I can't escape, I guess I'm here to stay till someone comes along and takes my place with a different name or in a different place. We're feeling alright. I'm not feeling that good myself. Oh no. Oh, you're feeling alright. I'm not feeling that good myself. Oh no. Oh, you're feeling alright. I'm not feeling that good myself. Oh no, no, no. You're feeling alright. Oh yeah. Not feeling that good myself. Oh, you're feeling alright. Oh, not feeling too good myself. Oh no, you're feeling alright. Oh yeah, not feeling that good myself. Oh no, oh, you're feeling alright.
Thank you, CSL House Band. If that doesn't wake your spirit up, I don't know what will. Please stand and join me with this blessing. We go in the light, as the light, and with the light. Have a great day, everybody. Love you.
Thank you.